With us now, Chief White House Correspondent for Politico, Mike Allen, who's here with the morning playbook. I guess we'll start with the political ad, really taking aim at Joe Sestak's record on Israel. Show us the ad. Show us the ad, Mike. Here it is.
Does Congressman Joe Sestak understand Israel is America's ally? Sestak raised money for an anti-Israel organization the FBI called a front group for Hamas. Sestak signed a letter accusing Israel of collective punishment for blockading Hamas in Gaza. Sestak refused to sign a bipartisan letter affirming U.S. support for Israel. Call Joe Sestak. Ask him to stand with Israel.
Oh, I know.
Boy, I'll tell you, Mike Allen, every Jewish group you talk to, I'm just going to say it, I mean, mainline Jewish groups across America feel betrayed by Barack Obama. And I'm afraid, I just say afraid, that we're going to see Middle East politics get in the middle as we move forward on this. And I say afraid because I think it's going to get very, very ugly.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, Joe. And you're right that there are people on both the left and the right that are now irreparably opposed to this president simply over this issue. And that helped give the oxygen to this new group, Emergency Committee for Israel. Is Bill Kristol's behind it, Gary Bauer, the former Republican presidential candidate. They've raised enough money. We're going to see this ad on cable. And in the Philadelphia area, they're going to see this ad during a Phillies game.
So this is Bill Kristol and Gary Bauer that are a part of this group that are funding these sort of ads.
They are. And Bill Kristol told our Ben Smith that it's the pro-Israel wing of the pro-Israel supporters, which speaks to that frustration that you're talking about. Many Democratic supporters of this president very unhappy with the way that he's handled the Israeli Prime Minister.
Exactly. And Mark Halpern, you talk about Bill Kristol and Gary Bauer. People go, well, this is just a Republican, group of neocons. But I talk to liberal Democrats who are supporters of Israel, who, and I bring this up because these ads are going to have resonance with a lot of Democratic supporters.
The Bush administration was very interested in building support in the American Jewish community and drawing it away from Democrats. They're big donors, as Terry knows, and they're sizable population in places like Pennsylvania, Florida, New York, New Jersey. Terry, have you seen the issue of Israel politicized this way in your time in politics?
I've never seen anything like an ad like that ever before in all my years in politics. That is
that out of line? I mean, it looks like they used his words.
Well, it's all how you frame the word. I do think that ad's totally out of line. I mean, this is what people hate about politics. This negative personal attacks. People have had it. I can tell you.
Was that personal, though, or was that policy? And by the way, I'm not on Bill Kristol's side when it comes certainly to Afghanistan and some of the other positions. But is that out of line if they quote letters that he wrote?
Well, it's how they frame it, and with the music going, and they put the Hamas group up there.
Yeah.
It's this politics of personal destruction that people hate. What are you doing for me? Forget this attack. Give me a job. Yeah. Let me put food on the table.
It is issue-based, though. I mean, they're saying they've got a dispute with him about his positions on Israel, but I'm wondering whether you think bringing in foreign policy, national security, and political advertising is in some ways off limits.
No, foreign policy, of course it's not off limits. I just think it's mark how you frame the debate. I'm just telling you, ads like that backfire on people who do it. People hate this person.
Mike Allen, I bring you into this and to ask you also, does an ad like this have the possibility of working because you've heard the same thing that I've been hearing, that I know Terry's been hearing, that Meek has been hearing, that Mark, all of us have been hearing from liberal Democratic Jewish groups who feel like Barack Obama is not as strong of a supporter of Israel as he claimed he was going to be.
No, that's right. And we saw the president making a lot of efforts with the recent visit by the Prime Minister Netanyahu to repair relations. But all of the readout that we're getting from the meeting is that the relations are still frosty, that there's nothing like the relations that the U.S. had before. And we can count the days until the president accepts Netanyahu's invitation to come to Israel. That still has not been accepted.
So Netanyahu, despite everything, has the upper hand politically now because the American Jewish community enraged with Barack Obama. Is that right, Mike?
Well, this is one of the many places where the president has a problem with his base, where the president, going into 2010 and 2012, a place that because of the conditions in the country, he needs everyone to get his back that he possibly can. He's missing huge holes of his former coalition.
We got to go, yes or no, though, Mark Halpern. Netanyahu holding a pretty good political card, isn't he?
There's not much leverage the president has over him that can trump the pressure Netanyahu's facing at home.
Thank you for teeing up yet another good one.
Thank you.
Mike,
appreciate
thank you.
it from
Have a great
Politico.
week.
Apple in big trouble from